Hi, for me, I'm Channa Wijewardena.
And I'm Ravibandhu.
Dance friends for the last 50 years.
50 years.
Well, my start, I was into sports in the very beginning. My father was a very good friend of Dr. Chitrasena. One day, I used to go and pick up my sister from there. Every day after rugby practice, I used to go to Kolpiti. There's a lovely open air theatre there. And watch them dancing when I go over there, then pick her up. So picking up my sister, one day Vajranti met me and said, Channa, can you come and help us with sending some souvenirs? So I said, okay, and borrowed a YMBA. And there's a festival there. I just want to go and see inside what is going on. There's so much of tourists, foreigners coming in and just go on the applause and everything. I just went and sat. And that's when I saw Dr. Chitrasena on stage. Marvelous, that figure, that athletic figure. I don't think anyone can match that figure. How much you tried, we could never match that figure. And that inspired me into the Chitrasena Kalayathane. And it was there when I met Ravibandhu. And Ravibandhu's father and my father were friends again.
They were friends, they were colleagues at Chitrasena School. Both danced. And of course, my father later branched off to designing costumes and sets. And Premaratnakar, of course, Channa's father. Also didn't continue for that long.
He had to go overseas. I was not born in Sri Lanka, I was born in Bangalore, and my primary education in London. And he was in the diplomatic service, so I think he was away for about 10 years. So that gap, and when we came back in, that's when I met this handsome guy, Ravibandhu. And the funniest thing was he's Thurston and Misipat, so we meet at the Misipat and Thurston big match as well.
Well, yes, my entry into the dance is also at the Chitrasena School, even though I inherit a long standing family tradition of dancers, temple painters, both from my maternal and paternal lineages. So this was in the year 1972 that I was already learning Kandyan drumming at the Chitrasena Kalayathane under Guru Kunchi Guru Nase and Lapay Guru Nase. So one fine day, Vajranti, as we call her, Guru Vajra Chitrasena, came out and said, Ravi Channa, you are not going home today. I'm going to start a boys' class. You must remember.
It was a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday, yes.
It was a Tuesday. And I remember there was it's called the Dandikanda. It's like a bar exercise. So that was the first thing we went to hold and the first. That was the first step which we did only on that. And that was only what she gave us to mold us.
And from that onwards, Vajranti has really, molded or really groomed us to be what we are today. So we both are indebted to Guru Chitrasena, Guru Vajra, and all the other gurus, Kunchi Guru Nase, Lapay Guru Nase, the traditional gurus, and of course
our senior dancers,
and Guru Pesara Shilpadipati was there, and all the senior dancers who played lead roles in the Chitrasena School productions like Karadiya, Naladamayanti, Gingini Kolama. And the nice part is that, of course, in the beginning we were in the corps de ballet or the groups, the chorus, but later on we were given the lead roles of those ballets, and the advantage was that we had seen those ballets and danced in their groups from a very young age, and we observed all the senior dancers dance, and we could remember every single step.
When it comes to grooming, I have to tell you that I used to do athletics in school, and I could never wear spikes because I used to cut my calf muscles. I was cutting my calf muscles. I was bored of it actually. Mm-hmm. Then I asked my mom what was wrong. Then she told me when I was there in London, I was bored and they gave me iron boots and got it corrected. But it was not 100% correct. It was still cutting. And I could wear boots because they're not spikes. But Vajra auntie corrected that. Yes. Through dance, she got my symmetric and I got it correct. So I owe her so much. And then I could wear spikes after that. My experience in dance, well, we got the passion and the love. When we do some sort of a job, and we do it for the sake of a job, and we don't like it, it's stress. We call it stress. But if we do something with so much of love, we call it passion. Our job, we have passion. Our job is a passion, what we do. My first experience on stage was the ballet, Karadiya. So one given day, Channa, you're playing Karadiya. So my coach, Karadiya is still for me. It's one of the greatest ballets ever Sri Lanka's produced. And so it's just that you can just switch on, I'll even dance now.
It's like for any Western classical dancer dreaming of playing in Swan Lake.
So
for us, it's Karadiya.
Karadiya. So I had it. It was so easy. In every rehearsal, everything you can just play any character in there. And I was practicing and getting ready. And physics is very important because the father had designed only one small piece of cloth here and just some ropes here. That's all. So the whole body is out. So we have to maintain our figures. So I was working so hard, got closer to the day where Lionel went. Before the show, Wijewardena came and said, Channa, you're playing only the last scene. Only the last scene. And there's only one song in there. And I said, okay. Now my friends have come to see me. They're at the balcony. Whole of the YMC is there at the Lionel wing. Of course, he was performing. He's better than me. He was performing. He's on better than me. Right.
In the quarter ballet.
In the quarter ballet.
So one of the fishermen.
Yeah. So I practiced, and she said, then I practiced the last scene. It's you do some leaps. I could leap because I used to play basketball, so my leaps are good. So I leaped. I did that campaign.
Yes.
And then we fall down and we get up, and there's a song sung by Dr. Wijewardena. Sorry. Then just before that scene, Chitra Sena uncle comes and said, Channa, you're playing Sumedha. Sumedha was playing Chanda, the main character, the lover. What happens is that he does the leap and he falls, he's dead.
He falls down and he's
dead. He never gets up.
Still for the rest of the ballet in that scene.
I played that scene. And I went leaping, and leaping is not seen because something like a strobe light is working, so you can't see even the leap. And I dropped it there. After all the guys in ballet, were you there? So that was my first experience, but I never stopped until when we went on playing main roles. And there's a very unique thing I think no one has done. It was to give us, there was Naladampi on the first day and the second day. And one day, the first day I think I played Mala, or you played Mala.
Yes, that was somewhere later in the 90s, the early or mid 90s. The Chitra Sena school always had, once in 3-4 years, a festival of dance for several days. So the old productions were revived, and if there was a new production, it was introduced. So in this particular festival, we alternated roles.
He told us first day, one of us played Nala first, and he said, no, Channa, you play. Kali, he plays Nala, second day. But we could do that. Because a lot of dancers can't do that. We just, next day I was saying, again, the role was, it was a complete against rule.
I mean,
the rival.
The protagonist and the antagonist.
So we just did that.
And it's always, Channa and I have always played the hero and the villain, the protagonist. I was the antagonist and he was the protagonist.
Even in Rashomon,
in many productions. So that's mainly because of his handsome looks and the very gentle and lyrical type of dancing. And on the contrary, mine was more dramatic, as Dr. Chitra Sena once said in his book, I'm a compelling dramatic dancer, so my technique is always towards more dramatic stuff. So we were always cast in such roles, so that there was contrast between the two of us.
One of the reasons, I'll tell you now for the first time, I could never match Ravi. I could never match him.
No, could I
but
match him?
Only the way I could go, not his knowledge, only way I could hit him was physics. So I worked on my physics. To match him, physics, I did it. Knowledge? No.
I had to contradict it. To match him, I had to play from within. outwards, and my dancing had to be virile, and I used a lot of movements and dramatic expression. So they actually marked the main difference between our performances, and we got good reviews for this.
Well, a great thing in the doors opened for us was very artistic doors. We had a beautiful path for us to travel, and meeting artists from the film, name the film stars, the Indian stars, the singers, and name any top great artists, we were with them because they all came to Kitchen Kala. So we saw the art, painters, singers,
musicians, actors, dancers.
So every evening we meet them, and they know us by name, we know them by name, and we're very proud when they call up, say our name and call us. And it's nice, but everyone doesn't get that opportunity. So we are living with them, and you see what happens, and all these things are going on. And I think it's wonderful.
Actually, we practically lived at the Chitrasena school, because when there were rehearsals continuously, until it was late in the night, we just did the rehearsals and slept at the studio.
Sometimes we watch them performing.
And
I remember David Podia,
Ustad David Podia,
he plays somewhere early morning at about 3 o'clock. He just gets up and starts playing. So we stayed there and we used to listen to him. And I remember one day there was no tablas. Dr. Chitrasena played the tabla.
Chitrasena school was Sri Lanka's perhaps the only cultural center of that nature, where it was open to all artists from different disciplines, dramatists, actors, musicians, writers, dancers, and then every time when there was a foreign artist visiting Sri Lanka, all the embassies made it a point to bring them to the Chitrasena school, as it was situated in Colombo, and then every day the duo Guru Chitrasena and Vajira, they danced every day from Monday to Friday at 4 in the evening. There was our beloved drumming maestro Punchi Gurunanse, who played for them all his life. After we were brought up to
every Tuesday, Lapa Gurunanse.
Yes.
So we got the opportunity to perform behind
the very traditional Guru Nanse of Chitrasena Guru. He used to visit every Tuesday. So after we came, after we were initiated and then we were taught the basics, what Vajiranti did was she invited us to just dance behind them every day from Monday to Friday. And Saturday was, of course, the whole place was full of children from age 7 to adults, elders even.
They call it the Guru Gedara. It's called.
It is a Guru Gedara indeed.
We do all the things. We do everything.
And then Sundays was located for rehearsals of all the productions when there is a show coming up. So all 7 days of the week we were in the dance, either danced or watched.
So when it's a night, there are no buses in the night. Like now, there are no buses. So we used to walk here, Dehivala. And I think both of us used to walk, and near the Dehivala bridge, there's a massive nuga tree. Yes. And there's a rumor there's a ghost there. So both of us come without telling anything, we stop and wait there till someone else comes. So when some elderly guy comes, we go with him. Every day we stop. So we wait, when he comes, we go with him. But that age, we were just 12, 13, 11.
Yes, we were around that. I was living in Maharagama, and Channa always lived in Dehivala, in this very place. So some days both of us would go to my place after classes.
And myself and Ravi, we used to go and see films. Now, once the exam is finished, there's about 5-6 days till the results come in school after term. The films are Julius Caesar, Othello, all the historic, all the
great classics, Shakespearean classics, or various other classical films.
We have seen Sir Lawrence Olivier as Othello.
And you remember at the Lionel Belt also,
at
the weekends they showed all those classics, films of Akira Kurosawa and Shakespeare classics. So that's where we were exposed to different styles of acting.
Maya Fisaskaya as
and then ballet shows, yes. And also at Chitrasena school, they used to invite, get down from the embassies, the great ballets, and they showed it to us.
He had an 8mm projector.
And
There were no TVs at
exposed.
that time, so the 8mm projector he used to project on the wall and used to see. So we had all that opportunity to. Schooling was going, but for me, my main target was into dance. I got the love of dance, and I was complete in the dance. Of course, schooling has to go.
Yeah.
That's in the morning anyway.
It's in the morning, but evening it was always dance.
Evening was the
If
dance.
it was film, it was some sort of a film, something to do with classics. I remember there was a pianist who came from Japan, who was a classical pianist. And we've been the audience watching. There are a lot of people getting up and going, but both of us are there.
And so in 1979, if you remember, when Pandit Ravi Shankar came to Sri
Yeah.
Lanka for the last time,
Yeah.
he wanted to have a group of artists on stage, like how they have it in the Indian tradition. So we had the great opportunity of just sitting at close quarters to the great maestro and listen to him.
I was
So
sorry.
You were not there. You were.
No, not in the I must not be.
Not on that day.
Not on that day.
Yes.
So,
But the saddest thing is the generation now, they don't get this opportunity.
yeah.
Maybe it's a phone. They're just isolated to the phone.
Yeah.
And it's now when we do some sort of movement, Ravi, I mean, we get our thoughts, and through our thoughts we explore the movement. It comes. We don't think of something what has happened or what we have seen or take that as a movement every week. It's what comes from our soul, from inside. So that's why you see something unique and new.
Two things matter. One is your total focus in the dance, and the other is your training. You have to indulge in your training, dabble with it day in, day out. So it becomes your second nature.
It's a dialogue between your body and mind. It's a dialogue between your body and mind. That's dance. So it's not only the mind. A lot of dancers, they just think in the mind, la 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 la, look at the phone, la 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 la, and you can't do it. You have to get it into your system and throw it out from the system. So that's why I say it's a dialogue between your body and mind. I have to tell you that it all came from the Chitrasena Kalaya. Our discipline, everything. We became art lovers from there.
The
The
discipline
books.
is very important. The discipline, theatre discipline, and the discipline in the arts that we got.
Not only the movement discipline is very important,
One
which
is
is not
the
happening now.
discipline,
There is
yes.
movement discipline. In every movement there is discipline, which is they lost it.
Yeah.
So maybe we didn't have the opportunity to see a lot of foreign dancers through internet or phone. We didn't see. What we saw was pure art.
But at that time, Channa, there were a lot of visiting foreign dance groups in Sri Lanka. The German Cultural Institute, the Alliance Francaise, the British
right,
Council,
the
the
BMS.
American Center, they got down great dancers.
The classics,
Yes, I mean,
even
mostly
even dramas.
modern and contemporary dancers.
Musicians,
and
drama,
musicians. So, I mean, the Royal Shakespeare Company was here in the 1970s or early 80s. Hina Bauch was here in the 70s. So, we were exposed to all those things at that time. So, we saw the best of
Best.
art. We didn't have the smartphone to,
No.
once
Take you
switch
away.
it on and it take you away.
Smart logistics.
So even today, when we take the phone, we search for the best of art.
The best.
Yeah.
Unlike the youth today, they watch what they see on it or what they
Yeah.
get on it.
Well, I think the great thing of Ravi and what I do, my next day, tomorrow is another day which I create. So for me, it's a new day. It's not another day. It's not another day. It's a new day which I create. And I have patterns in the previous night, I get patterns, different patterns, and how I explore it. So I have trained my dancers. Once they come up in the morning, it's all trained up there. So I just can start exploring movements and do that. So it's a new day, not another day.
So in other words, we have changed our roles into teachers, creators, trainers, and it is in that space that you have to think ahead and dream of what will happen next. And because, as he said, every next day is a new
Yeah.
day. Yes.
No, what happens is the way we were trained, we cannot train these children now because their thoughts are different. Tsunami changed
Times
thoughts.
are different.
Times are different. Tsunami changed a lot. I have students that are affected by tsunami, no parents, nothing. Then the war has affected a lot. So some of the children when they come, I don't know whether their fathers or mothers are living. So I have to tackle them very carefully. And when I know something is wrong, I tackle that particular student because they come to a dance class not only to dance for the pleasure and the fun and all. So you can't be very strict on them. You have to think who they are, from where they come, and then start getting, because dance is what we think is we have to get the movement out of the student. We give the idea and get it out of them. If we give it to them, they do what we do, but we want them to do something different.
Going back to your question, the transition is actually a natural process from the dancer. I mean, well, anywhere in the world, in the professional level, all great dancers in the field of ballet, contemporary dance or modern, they dance up until their mid-30s. Then they slowly,
going to character.
Going to character appearances.
It's exactly what we did.
Cameo roles in films here. And so this is but a natural process. So with age, you realize your body. So the dance is the one way that you can very intensely and carefully study your body and realize your body. So your aging, you realize naturally. Then you change your role. And then of course, psychologically we become mature, of course, with age, and that gives us opportunities to train artists. And then the next most important thing, creativity. If you don't create, any art will not survive. So I have always wanted to create dance. So when I matured in age, I think I preferred creating dances for other dancers rather than me performing on stage. My signature piece was the dance of Judas, based on the Bible story. And at the age of, I continued to dance this role until I was 58 years old. And then I handed it over to one of my best students, Diane, to do the role. So that's because you realize your body. You know that you can't do what you did 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Dancing on stage demands a lot of energy and concentration. It's like this. Your 1 hour of dancing in the studio is sometimes not even enough. What you do is you condense this whole training of 1 hour of dancing in the studio to a 5-minute act on stage. That much of energy you have to have because it's intense. You have to hold yourself, you have to hold the audience, and you have to play the role that you are cast in. So all that, to play 5 minutes, you need a whole lot of heap of energy.
I can say my signature dance was an act called Swipe to the Soul. Well, I always wanted to break out of the box. So I couldn't break out because the traditions were in. I was a prisoner to all the traditions, like Canada and low country, name it, I was a prisoner in all these. I just wanted to break away. Fortunately, I had done something else with my body, which was sports. And I created this piece called Swahili, musical done by Dr. Ravibandhu, all on movements which came out of sports, the javelin throw, the discus throw, the raga passes. I put all that into dance and incorporated even our Kasiran's adults in a different manner. And I developed this way. And it was a little difficult for others to do it because they had not done the sports, so they can't get the feel of the basketball jump or the raga pass. Anyway, as he said, you can do it when you can do it, and you should not do it when you can't do it. You should.
So today we are very satisfied creating dances or creating choreographies for our students.
Yeah, we see them dancing. And I think our students are much better than us. We have open doors, and they just go. Challenge is, if I can't get the audience to the edge of the seat, I have lost. They have lost. I have lost. So I always make it a point that every single person in the audience is in the edge of the seat. So that music, the knowledge of music, how the dancer feels the music, what the dancer's thoughts are, how she or he feels when he hears the music. All that counts because we all like to listen to stories. We all have listened to stories. We always sit straight when it's a story. We all have watched films. We all watch teledramas. We all listen to songs, stories. When we go to sleep in small days, Amma or Papa, Daddy comes and reads the stories. We are all used to this. So story, we listen. Dance is also a story. From the start to end, it's a beautiful story, and you can really portray the story. No one will look away because you want to get away from the story. You want to be in the story. So,
whether it is literally interpreted in the dance or otherwise, it is a story.
yeah, it is abstract or literary. It is a story. It's a beautiful painting in movement. So you should be able to paint a little. Your hands should be moving a little, and it's a moving painting. But you see, even the corner, whatever, body belly, everyone is in the painting. It's symmetrical. You have to be really symmetrical. Your makeup, your costume, that comes from his father.
And also asymmetrical.
Asymmetrical, yeah. Yeah, asymmetrical. That's where you hit it.
My challenge has always been to achieve the perfection that I wanted in the dance, whether as a dancer, as a performer, or as a choreographer. So it has always been a challenge, and I must admit the fact that I have not been able to achieve the perfection that I wanted.
That's that's true. Robin, even me.
Because you were never satisfied.
Never.
We all are never, artists are never satisfied.
Oh, we could have done more. Oh, I could have gone higher. Oh, I could have done. I could have felt more. It is spiritual. Our dance is very spiritual.
That's why for every artist, it's because of the perfection. For every artist, the next one is the almost the better one, or the next one is going to be the best one.
Everyone is satisfied, but he is not satisfied. We are not satisfied. So I have heard people saying, artists saying, I have reached the top. I don't think any artist has reached the top. You cannot find the top. There's more. Once you reach a certain place, much more. You suddenly realize that you don't know anything, and there's so much more you do.
Yes.
That's when you start working. Oh, you realize.
You learn every day in life. You know, when Pandit Ravishankar is asked, when he was asked once by an interviewer, how did you achieve all these greatness in your artistic life? He said, I am a student. So I think that is the best lesson that we have to take from.
Exactly. We are students of our students now. They have become our teachers. We take it from them. They see the world more than we see, and they are closer to the future than us. So we can't reach the future, but we can reach the future.
They see a different world that we did not see.
Yeah. And we can't be stubborn saying that they see it better than us. It's their audience which is coming up. You're welcome to eat anything, but next day you'll burn it. You'll burn it. To burn it. Yes. Because our tool is our figure. That's what my Guru Wijewardena told me. Our tool is our figure. We have to. It has to be well tuned.
This is the instrument, so it has to be.
It's like a guitar. The guitar is not tuned. It's all flat. It's like a drum. It's like a piano. Everything has to be tuned. Our body has to be tuned.
Mutual respect.
Respect.
That is number one.
We both married dancers.
Oh, yes.
So they both run.
I found my wife at the Chitrasena school, and of course, Ukuli also hails from a great tradition, to which I also belong.
Yeah. And so our thoughts it's easy to discuss about an item or something when you have married someone who has done the same subject, because they see the same way we see. So he has the same advantage in that. You do a product and you show her. They're not going to say, beautiful. They're not going to say that.
They are the best critics.
They are the best critics.
And
they say too.
Yes.
I would say respect each other. Respect your teacher, respect your students, respect your friends. It is respect. When you have the respect, you will. I think we have a problem. We do not teach students. I do. He does. To listen. A lot of children, they don't know to listen. You get a piece of music, they don't know to listen to that. There are parts, there are harmony parts, percussion, they don't know to listen. It's just the bed to listen. Even when someone is talking, you should be able to. Now, normally talk about 250 words a minute. That's what they say. And you listen to 500 words. How many takes knowledge from what they listen? How many just listen the sentence off? How many listen just to reply? But if you can get knowledge from all 500 words, you're gathering so much into yourself.
Hearing and listening are two different things, and listening is an art.
Listening is an art. It's like seeing something. You see something, you get absorbed into it.
When I teach, I tell my students, my dancers, see music and hear the dance. I always repeat this.
See music and
That's very important.
The best diet is eat as if you're drinking and drink as if you're eating. Eat liquid, drink solids. For me, when I started I was improvising through the dance, I was hit left and right. Because I think they couldn't see what's happening, but now they have seen it's happening now. But I was being hit left and right. When I started improvising and moving and going forward, this was coming up. Those were the biggest barriers I had. But I knew what I was doing. I had a good background, so I knew exactly what I was doing. And I went, when I missed something, or I just called him at once and asked him, because he knows the answer. And it was not easy. There were times I was just going to slip off. And I remember once when I did the sound ballet, when I first started sound, I was being criticized. My egos. There were telephone calls coming. There were people sending letters. Totally out. The newspapers were attacking me. Everyone was attacking me. So I went and visited my guru, Chitrasena, he was at Madhav, Mahara. So he knew what I was coming for. And he had called me actually. When I met that chapter, he said, he knew what I was going to say. He said, his son also played raga. And our father used to
Cricket and raga both.
Cricket and raga both, yeah, he played cricket.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I was playing Royal, our father stood together. My father and Sanaka were together in the the ground watching us playing. So he told me, if you don't want to be tackled, what do you do? I said, you pass the ball, then you're not tackled. He told me, you have the ball. If you don't want to be tackled, you pass the ball. That's all he told me.
On the contrary, I have never been criticized or, in a sense, attacked as such. I've always had a very complacent life in the field of art.
Lucky.
And I don't know for what reason. I think that's a blessing that I got. I don't know from somewhere. To this date, I'm not criticized or attacked. But I know we had a very difficult time because
maybe people can't see what I'm doing. And the latter part, you can see it's happening now. The days they attack, the same things are happening now. I always think that you have to go forward. You have to move forward. Like I said, it's a creative day, it's another day. It's not another day, it's a creative, beautiful day. So I think someone who is living is a person who is creating. You're not born to just be there. Go on. See what you do, enjoy life is creating. We are rich from culture, through culture. Not money. We're poor in my butt. Culture-wise, we are rich. Creativity, when it comes because you're doing something. It's the rugby. You just pass the ball. I knew I had the ball. I just keep the ball. But if I'm not criticized, I have a feeling that there's something wrong somewhere. Someone is criticized.
But if you get negative thoughts within yourself,
you're weak.
Then you can't go forward. You're weak.
You're weak. You can't go.
You must never get negative thoughts.
Confidence. I fight myself. My challenge is myself. Challenge it. I work on that. When you start challenging, you realize that there's so much you have to learn, so much you have to gather when you challenge yourself. You should not challenge another dancer or go behind another dancer or anyone else. A lot of people, they build houses challenging the neighbor's house. If he's in 3 stories, he comes to 4 stories. Then he goes to 5 stories, he goes to 6 and the house comes down. With the foundation. That's what happens. One guy gets a 24-inch TV, the other guy goes and gets a 15. Why challenge someone else? Challenge yourself.
I think it is important to have trust and faith in yourself and in what you do. If you have come, if you have gone somewhere in our lives as artists, I think it is that faith and that trust in ourselves and our art, what we are doing.
This is a
That
big,
has that.
in our community, I think this is a big problem because you see, I don't know whether it's correct saying this, you see girls change the color of the hair. Why don't you love your own color of your hair? You see people earning millions by getting creams, whitening creams.
Yeah.
Why change your color? There are so many people trying to get your color. You see, it happens. There are a lot of girls who have wavy hair go for straight hair, which doesn't match the face. A lot of wavy, straight hair girls go for wavy hair. Why can't you respect what you have got? Some change their name. Oh, theatrical names are different. But normally, the theatrical change, you can do that. But normal people change. What's wrong with the face? God, I'm not going to change my name. Social media, like or what do you call likes and what do you call the views, doesn't make you the artist. I don't watch a film seeing how many likes it has.
You say your name?
You get the reality shows. Now, if you see through SMSs, someone wins, but the best one is number 3 or 4. But how can an SMS make someone the winner? That's not correct. That's wrong.
Yeah, as you said, it is lack of understanding in what is good art and what is not. I think it is the responsibility of our education system to produce that tasteful student.
Discerning for that.
Yes, even though we have aesthetic subjects in the curriculum and they are taught as subjects in the classroom, our children are not taught to appreciate music, enjoy music, dance, film, literature.
But Ravi, this syllabus
Like giving opportunities to indulge in that and learn that. I mean, not learn it as a subject, to become a dancer or to become a painter, to become a sculptor or a writer or a singer, but to enjoy music. You must be able to appreciate it.
not to play the instrument, to enjoy what you
so
hear.
that you build good taste in art. What makes a good artist is taste in art.
It's the same old syllabus which is going on. That's the problem. You have to change the syllabus.
Well,
You have to change the syllabus. A lot of people, they study in school to get through the exam, not to get the knowledge. They don't worry about knowledge. It's to get through the exam. It's a copy paste. But knowledge, you need knowledge.
So there again, it's the education system that direct them towards that. The exam-centered education system. So I mean, these things must change. Yes. Now we are still blindly following those Western, sometimes British systems that even the British have rejected and discarded.
That's on those ones. So our 50 years we take. We have had the best 50 years. We travel the world. I meet him in different countries. One day I just walked in London, one day in Japan, one day in Russia. We did in Russia. We both meet at the Borsha in Russia. We have got a lot. Looking back, it's beautiful. It's bad. The sadness is the youth going to get this? Is our youth, will they get what we got?
That is one thing, and I think it is also our duty to somehow expose them in that and direct them towards the right.
Yeah, we have to be blamed.
I mean,
we are the teachers.
If the next generation in 25 years' time, they look back and look for what we have done, the seniors of today.
We are blamed.
If we are to be blamed if we have not done our duty, because our seniors or those who lived before us, our pioneers, Guru Chitrasena, Pani Bharata, Prema Kumara, Vasanta Kumara, I'm just bringing out the names in the dance. So even my father, artists, if they had not done their duty and they had not created the path for us, we wouldn't have
taken the path.
Taken
We
the
would
path.
have gone the path.
So now we have to
But a problem
clear
is
the path further for the next generation.
Problem is the social media. They are too addicted to the social media. We have to get them out of it. Find a way.
Well, I think we have to fight that.
Yeah, which I'm doing.
Which we are doing, of course.
Which I'm doing. My house, no
It's
phone.
not simply
It will be the
by
day for the beach.
criticizing. No, I mean it's not simply by criticizing. You know,
Making them
but
understand.
we have to show them. Okay, here is the other or the more healthier part.
What you're
healthier way
missing.
of doing things, huh?
What you are missing by getting glued to the phone. You miss a lot. There was this student, a girl. She wanted to go through. She had to go through an operation. For eye. It's a very simple operation. She went through internet and watched it through YouTube, and she got frightened. She never did the operation. She saw it on YouTube. When you see all the tools coming, she got frightened. She never did the operation. She never did it because she went through it and watched what
Feed good stuff in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And then you must make aware the younger ones. Okay, here is this. These what do you call more helpful, more healthier stuff in this rather than what you watch. So I think it's all up to us. As you said, yes, you are very correct. We can use the social media as a tool
Positive.
to direct the next generation towards the right path.
That's why technology came into the system. The correct path, but it had gone to the other way. Because you take movement, there are so many movements. The good old days we did. I mean, the people did. They were climbing mountains, climbing trees, jumping out of trees, aiming. To climb a tree, you have to be balanced. Your body has to be 100% balanced. You can't climb a tree otherwise. To climb a mountain, you have to be the stretching exercise. Everything is cardio is there. But now all that have gone, washing clothes, chopping wood, these is all exercises. Now all of that have gone. Even
Yeah, of course.
gone. So now they are giving rubber balls that didn't use to be rubber balls. You know, all that I got. No washing, it's just a switch.
Yeah.
No taking water from a well and having a bath. So you have lost all these things because of technology.
Yeah.
And now they go to the gym.
Yep.
But the good old days, our mothers and fathers, they all did all this. They were down, bathing under waterfalls. We had a well in Martha, it's a well and very clean water. And all that was going. So technology has taken another track, a route. And I think the body needs, you have to think about your body system.
So technology has made the human beings lazier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, you don't get manual gear. Manual gear, all automatic.
All automatic.
No.
You look at the TV. I mean, 20 years ago, you had to get up from the seat, go to the TV, switch it on, off, and change channels. But today,
You can even call up. I mean, it will come. You might call up the channel name. It might come on. You might say, "Rupani," ping.
Yeah, definitely.
Because in India there was a hotel. You clap once, light is on. You clap twice, light is on. Just same. It happens same in the shower. I haven't no shower to be
No
seen.
shower.
Clap, woof, the whole ceiling was like rain. You say thunder, you get thunder. Technology, take it to the positive side of it. Take it don't go the wrong way. Get the positive parts of the technology and use it the correct way. It was done for the good purpose, but it's been done the other way around. So I think you have to shift it and get all these technical parts for the positive part.
And I think being patient until you come to the right moment to do something. We're talking about the arts. You must feel that you are not ripe enough to do something. So be patient.
Be patient.
Yeah.
Watch more productions, good and bad, both the things. You will realize where you are if you see things, if you read things. Without seeing something or reading something, you won't know where you are, where you stand. So you have to more exhibitions, more dance theatre.
And I think it's also good to slow down yourself because we always tend it's
Mechanism.
the surrounding, like go very fast. But if you control your mind and go a little slower, I think things will be better.
I think COVID helped us. We were together, we were with ourselves. COVID did a great thing. Started working there. I started drawing. I even drew your face.
Yeah, I mean, I used to paint when I was about 14 years. So because of the dance, it all stopped. And during the COVID 2 years, I started painting again. Now I have done about 20 new paintings, oils.
Family, there are dinners we go out. Some families get invited for dinners. I went and sat, can't use names here. Everyone was on the phone. So I asked, why did you invite us? You want to be the phone. And some we go for a meeting and you suddenly see phones on the table. Phone on a table, that means that meeting is not important.
Yeah.
There's another man there.
Yeah.
There's some people in the morning as they get up, look at the phone. Don't look at the phone, look at the person next to you.
Yeah.
Look at yourself in the mirror. They look at the phone. What are the messages? So they're just living with
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah.
I think family is the most important
Yeah.
thing in life. Those who knew mentioned that isolate themselves, leaving their parents. At one point in their life, they also realized what they had missed. But then at that time, they are too late to go back. This I have seen and experienced.
It's because they're just copying the Western world.
Yeah.
Those countries are so big. They get the job somewhere else, a mother is somewhere, a father is somewhere. So they have a Mother's Day or a Father's Day because it's so far and the family is in different. You take states. One is in New York, one is in LA, one is in Texas. Some actually they all get together and come to one given place like Washington, and that becomes a Mother's Day. Sri Lanka, every day is a Mother's Day. Mother is with us now. So there is no Mother's Day, there is no Father's Day. Every day. Father is always with you.
I mean, those who do all that, they achieve all the materialistic things in
Material,
life,
yeah.
but they really lose their other part,
Yeah.
the most spiritual part, which is, I think, the most important to lead your life.
Even to know the value of Sri Lanka, there is this story I heard about Dr. Jessu's experience. He was brought up, he was in the Himalaya. He went to St. Peter's, chauffeur back, and there was an ayam who used to always talk about Sri Lanka, sing about Sri Lanka poetry. The beautiful Sri Lanka was given to Dr. Jessu's spirit through the ayam, to the servant. And he saw a beautiful Sri Lanka. That is how Rekava came out. So that was the first film which came out of location, was shot out of the studios. So that's how the world saw it. So the first tourism promoter was Dr. Jessu's. That's how the world saw Sri Lanka. And if you take that song, Olunil, it's done on a river, and that river passes every beauty of Sri Lanka. Every part of Sri Lanka is passed. This is how much he had thought. What he heard as a small boy. While having lunch, this servant used to always tell stories about Sri Lanka. So that song, while he was going on the song, he used to see the beauty of the women coming and taking water, and all beautiful things of Sri Lanka is on the paper. So that's because he heard it. But now youngsters don't hear about this. They don't talk much to their parents. I think you have to have at least one meal with your family. At least one. You can. For going back to the Chitrasena, I think I found who am I, and I'm very proud of myself now because I went on that path. I would have been a different path because the YMC club is next door.
Yeah.
I would have gone on a different path. It's not wrong, but the path I'm moving now, I really love the path. What I've achieved, what I've seen, the friends I've got, the people we have met. You name any artist, they know us by name. From film to drama to cinema, anything. So he's very close to Zakir Hussain, the Indian Kabul. They know him by name. They played with him.
Yeah, but I think Chitrasena Kalayatana
They
has
did.
played a very important role in
Enough.
molding us and grooming us to what we are today. Not simply teaching the dance,
But the lifestyle
but
of us.
various other things. We've got discipline in various manners, and it has also changed the thinking pattern of ours.
The way of
Guru
teaching.
Chitrasena used to talk to us, and actually he never taught us in the classroom. It was Guru Vajira's role to teach us in the classroom the technique and all that. But Guru Chitrasena was always talking to us about various things, about life, arts, and philosophies and things like that.
Cutting a shoe. It's not easy. He taught us how to cut a shoe. You have about 15 items. How do you place it? That's the magic there. So we got it. He's genius in that. Because the whole show can go down if you cut it the wrong way. So we got it from multiplication.
So in other
And
words,
we were always proud to say that we are students of the Chitrasena Kala. Proudly we say. And when we go for lectures, I mean, sometimes we go overseas, we go for dance lectures and workshops. And when we go and sit there, everything we have got is from the Kala. We have got all these things from here. Sound technology, lighting, everything. Costumes, I used to go and live with Ravi and work with Ravi and ice cream making, and we used to make ornaments, and it got a lot from there. And Chitrasena knew lights, he knew technology very good. He knew what sound was, and he knew what sound does to us. He knew what light is. He knew the philosophy of lights, how to couple the lights, everything he knew. That's why he came out. That's why theatrically he is on top.
and he would give us those opportunities to try out things. You know, I remember once that was in London. Once, yes.
Sunday I had to stop dancing and going to flight in Paris. I was there.
Yeah, so those they gave us those opportunities.
And that made us move. And we can just go to any theatre anywhere in the world and just say that you know what it is.